What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 47 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz campaign. So as you saw last time, Peter von Sigurd has finally defeated the Skaven, or at the very least most of the Skaven, by taking Skaven Blight with his army. It's been a pretty long journey where he started with the fights against Ticket out here in the forts, moving all the way down and slowly but surely and grinding the rats under his heel. We're gonna reward him by giving him some Wood Elf units, as they are the masters of run and gun ambush sort of thing, and Peter has been using the tactics that they love so much quite effectively as well. Now, I did ask you guys what you thought between the addition of Sisters of the Thorns units versus the addition of a couple of units of Hawk Riders, mostly because we can't get 4 Way Watchers, and it seems the consensus is towards Sisters of the Thorn, which I'm inclined to agree with as well. I mean, there is a lot more utility from them, and while they may get slightly out-damaged straight up by the Hawk Riders, at the end of the day, the utility most likely outweighs the straight-up damage. Now, we do need to get rid of 1 unit here, so that'll be one of the free companies, but not to worry. These guys will be buffed up by the Sisters of the Thorn, so they'll be stronger even with the less units. Where are the Sisters here? Alright, so it's Arguelon now, because we used all of our legions from Talzin, and Sisters of the Thorn 1 and 2. Alrighty, and these guys have very low armor. In fact, they'll be... well, I guess all the Wood Elf units have low armor, so we'll have to keep them out of fighting, mostly, but they do have that lethal poison, or toxic venom, rather, as well as armor piercing. They have fire while moving, so that they can provide support to the Pistoliers as well. Though, let's see... they're actually a little bit higher range than the Pistoliers as well. I was about to say the Sisters of Thorn are low range, but yeah. And they have the Curse of Enric here, which is quite useful. So, yeah, that'll be nice. Alrighty, Peter, you got 2 turns, then your army will be mostly good to go, minus the Wizard, which we still have to get, but that'll be fine. Now, in terms of what we gotta do this time around, there's still this little siege that we are going to do shortly. There is Sartosa, but we might just auto-resolve that, because the garrison's kind of meh, and frankly, we have 2 armies that would just bombard the entire city to rubble before we actually have to commit. There are more interesting fights, however. Namely, we have whatever's going on here with Gavin and with Kurt. Now, Kurt, you don't look like you can reach this, but perhaps if we have Gavin here, siege the Isle of Wight. Let me see if I can make this happen. Alright, you're gonna siege this and then encircle it. What we would like to possibly do is draw out these guys without having to... let's see. Kurt, that doesn't change the degree to which you can land, does it? Well, isn't that a shame? And that's in regular stance. In march stance, you could move forward. I wonder, maybe there's a... okay, wait, we're gonna put you in march stance, see if I can make this work out. Everything goes laggy for a second there. Let's put you right here. Wait, will this work? No, it won't work, or at least what I was thinking of doing won't work. At least it won't if you're in full speed stance. I was hoping to actually engage this guy in combat outside the settlement instead, but I guess we'll have to fight inside the settlement. So these guys will come in as reinforcements, and so will ours. Yep, alright, I guess that's what we're dealing with then. Gonna be a bit of a toughie, and we're going to take attrition at that, but, well, there ain't much we can do about it. You, Tech Thief, move out to move out to Citadel of Lead. That's probably where the enemy reinforcements came from last time, so we do want to keep an eye on those guys as well. And, ooh, hello. Gotta watch out for those rogue armies. Then, Gavin, just before you attack, let's get you your points applied. So, definitely gonna go for Pistol Core with you. And I guess later on, we'll probably go for the Vanguard. Your army is very cheap, but it can get cheaper. And then, Kurt, what do we have here? You are also going through Pistol Core, and you definitely need to. Oddly enough, Gavin is now higher level than you. That was unexpected, considering he was originally meant to be your helper army, but oh well, it works. And I think for this we'll get... how much mana do you have? 84, not bad, but you only have 50, and you're gonna be whose mana we use, I clicked on the wrong unit. Alright, you. I'm just wondering whether it'll be worth it to get Flamestorm right now. It's not reliable enough. Let's just go for Piercing Bolts of Burning again. It's too useful. Although we should get Scouting and stuff as well, but we'll do that later on. Anyway, you are going to turn to Trench's stance right now. And we're going to attack this Pyrrhic Victory apparently, but I think that this will be a pretty interesting fight. This army is hurt, this army is in March stance, and the enemy does have towers and everything to help with their defenses, even if they are hurt, so let's get to it.
Wise counsel!
Alrighty, here we go. I think this should be a pretty interesting fight. We have the remnants of the battle, or the forces that we defeated previously with Gavin, that are gonna move down this little area, this little valley or whatever, around this sort of destroyed fortress structure, which we will hopefully take advantage of, and have deployed our units to fight them, or at least most of our units. Some are still deployed forward to actually start on the enemies in the settlement, but obviously we're not going to move directly into said settlement until we've destroyed these guys instead. Whether that works out, I guess we'll see, and we do have about 3 minutes until our own reinforcements arrive, so they're going to take quite a bit longer to get on the field. We'll have to defeat this army yet again, damaged as we are without those reinforcements. Anyway, our gunners, or hand gunners, are gunning down as many enemy as they can, but it looks like our halberdiers are already taking damage from this enemy tower. Mortars are trying to fire on it, but of course mortars are pretty inaccurate, especially against towers, and damn, that tower is ripping those halberdiers apart. Yeah, so we're gonna get this unit out of here. We're gonna use the other unit to take its place and hopefully knock down that tower, which is a little past half HP at this point. Marauders, or Berserkers specifically, are running around back here, but refuse to sally out, though they probably could have taken advantage of the fact that most of our army is deployed here, and done so. It doesn't look like they want to... Oh wow, there's an erupting... whatever the heck that thing is. I don't know what to call these things. These little volcano things that are like, I don't know, these rock formations that are partially hollow. They're all over the place. I don't think real volcanoes form like this, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, oh wow, there's a lot of lava and stuff here as well. Anyway, we got about 20 seconds until the enemy army arrives, and ooh, before I forget, there was a request for me to try to cancel the unit clipping thing, the thing that forces units to disappear, so we can now clip through units, like this guy, missing an arm. You guys let me know whether this looks better with the units clipping as opposed to fading away when the camera gets close, as to how the cinematic battles look. We'll try to get some nice shots of the various fights here, which will make clear the differences. Anyway, here we go. The enemy reinforcements are here, and our handgunners are going to start working on them as best they can. That is a lot of units for our halberdiers to hold. We'll see if they can do so, considering the damage that they've already taken. We got about a minute left until we have reinforcements, though, so if we can hold for that minute, we should at least be able to move the faster-moving reinforcements in. Here comes a Feral Manticore to drop down on some of our handgunners there. And is going to start ripping them apart, though only the one unit here, fortunately, which means the other unit can move into the side and continue gunning down said Manticore. Otherwise, the enemy melee line is about to close with our own, and once again the enemy are not sallying out, and ooh, our poor halberdiers, with their lack of shields, taking damage from the thrown javelins of the enemy Marauder Hunters. Alrighty, and there we go, the enemies moved in, at great axes swinging away versus the halberdiers. Though in a straight-up unit versus unit contest, I would have to give it to a unit of halberdiers over this, because they have the range. Although, obviously in this game, in Total War in general, you don't really see units with super long pikes and halberds and stuff really make good use of the range of their weapons. Yes, they can swing from further away, that is absolutely the case, but there's no multi-rank sort of keep the enemy away hedgehog type of thing that you might otherwise see with this type of unit. especially with the long pikes. Oh yeah, there we go. There's that animation of trolls smashing units, and oh my lord, that unit got ripped in half. Ouchies. Alrighty, well, it's still looking pretty good. We are still holding, though the damage is now starting to get pretty severe on our halberdiers. Our mortars continue firing away, though they are about to switch towards the enemy units of Marauder Hunters, as they are also dishing out a little bit too much damage for comfort. One of our halberdiers here is routing, and these two will have to hold against 2 units of trolls and those marauders with great weapons while the handgunners continue to fire. But our reinforcements are here, namely the Lord, Kurt, and both of those units of heavy war sleds and outriders should be able to reinforce quite quickly. In fact, here come said outriders. Not the grenade variety, but in this particular situation, I think the regular variety is probably going to come in more handy, as we have these trolls to contend with. And they're a lot more threatening than the enemy marauders are at this point in time. Alrighty, Outriders ran a little bit too far forward, blocking the shots of those handgunners, but are going to move behind them because they can fire over the heads of that unit and contribute to this. There are very few, there we go, now they're firing, and very few of these halberdiers left to hold the line here, but hopefully they should hold just long enough for our reinforcements to help. War sleds are also moving in, and even if our melee line fails, the war sleds can obviously just bolster the melee line, and the auras that they provide bolster it further. And there we go, our Hellstorm rocket batteries are now in range and are going after those enemy Marauder Hunters. And another nice thing, unlike the Outriders, the war sleds aren't really threatened from getting splash hits on them from the mortars or the rocket batteries. Though they would very much be threatened by cannons and by Hellblasters. At least the splash damage units aren't all that big of a deal. Still, it looks like the first enemy army is just about to go. Very few units remaining. It looks like our Lord Kurt has knocked down the enemy Lord down here, who has just fallen. And we should be able to rout the last of the remaining troops very shortly. Nice. Like a little mini field battle within a settlement battle, and I really appreciate that. I like these multifaceted sort of battles where it's not just a one sort of thing, you know what I mean? There we go. Getting the rest of those runners down. And in the eyes of the Hound, at the very least, these guys, berserkers mind you, are going to be labeled as cowards. And I'm not sure you want to feel the wrath of the Hound. Anyway, there we go. Although, to be fair, I feel like Khorne's punishments are probably not going to be as horrifying as the other gods' punishments. You know what I mean? Khorne will probably just have somebody, you know, just have like a flesh count eat ya, or somebody take your skull, whereas Tzeentch and Slaanesh could probably do something absolutely horrific to you instead. And Nurgle's probably the one most likely to allow you to redeem yourself in some way, because Nurgle is generally much nicer. Alrighty, there we go, and it looks like the last of these units are going to rout. Get a few more shots, both from our Outriders and from our War Sleds in as well, but we are going to move these guys into the settlement in a few seconds. And then they can start working on the enemy from the inside. Lovely. I enjoy these ruined fortress things as well. What the heck is this? Ah, wait, this plant looked purple from a distance. Oh, look at that. That's weird. I guess it's based on my settings. That's kind of odd. But interesting. Anyway. I'm just looking at the fade-in of various objects on the map. Anyway, the rest of our forces are going to be moving in. We also have the Hawkland long rifles who have taken the top of this hill and should be able to range the enemy. We also haven't gotten a lot of good shots on them before, and they're a pretty neat-looking unit. And we're obviously going to try to have a bunch of them in this army. We already have 2 that are looking to get a third one shortly, and then I want 4, maybe 5 in this army, as this is going to be their main. I want Null Ironsides in the... well, maybe we'll get a couple Null Ironsides in this army, but I mostly want them for Balthazar Gelt's army instead. Oh man, I really like these guys I don't know, trench coats? Whatever the heck these things are called. Fancy. Yeah, real fancy. Alright, well, they can have their fun. We've also begun the bombardment of the enemy settlement as well. The rockets are raining from the skies, and same thing with the mortars. Both of the enemy towers, I believe, have been knocked down, and there's really not much the enemy can do about any of this right now. We have massive range superiority, and if they try, they just end up getting ripped apart. Now, it looks like we're moving in with our... wait, where are we? There we go. With our war sleds and our outriders as well, they're going to try to take some positions inside the enemy settlement and work on the enemy there while the bombardment and the gunnery all continue. There we are, very nice. There we go, Outriders gonna do some work, and I'm absolutely planning an all-Outrider army. Well, maybe all Outriders in some other move, while, well, maybe Hawk Riders, maybe more War Sleds, I haven't decided yet. That sort of army. And definitely going to be one of the ones that will want to get on the field eventually. And obviously we want another army that's really, really Demigryph focused, like a bunch of Demigryph Knights, like at least 10, maybe more. And then we'll have to figure out what else is gonna go into that particular army, whether it's going to be a hammer and anvil sort of army or an all-mobile, just massive cavalry army. Maybe combine them with just like some Warbear Riders or something like that. There's certainly potential for that. Man, there's still so damn many different army types that I want to try. Fortunately, we've got a while to go until the endgame scenario starts, so, yeah. And get those army ideas in there while you're at it if anybody has more suggestions. Because we've got a fair few that we still need to build. Anyway, looks like the enemy has decided to move in some Marauder Horse Masters, but our hybrid militia or hybrid units are here, both the Free Company Militia and the Armored Cossars, working together and firing away. I do feel like, and I know that somebody suggested a mod that that allows you to recruit more stuff, but I feel like the Empire in particular should have either technologies or otherwise just straight up the ability to recruit more different types of ancillaries, or like in a higher numbers than other factions, as Kislev troops and to some degree Dwarfen troops are a regular thing in the Empire, so it would be very much, I don't know, lureful to have those units participate a little bit more, especially Kislev troops to the north, as Kislev and Empire work together constantly. And while you don't necessarily need access to the roster, it would be nice just to be able to build them with allegiance, but in, like, you know, 8 units instead of 4, for example. And I'm certainly thinking about getting the mod that increases the numbers, but it can't be done until the patch has been updated because of compatibility issues. And I've had campaigns be destroyed by mod incompatibilities with patches before, and the more mods you have, the more likely that is to happen. And I ain't losing this campaign, I'm having too much fun. Anyway, well, let's continue. The bounce power is about 90% in our favor. Oh, is that a little Tzeentch floating disc? No, it's just a, well, it is a floating thing, but it's not a Tzeentch one. A little fire tornado with a chaos symbol. Trolls are going to try to chase down the war sleds, but they don't do enough damage for the war sleds to be all that concerned, and they can fire back. The enemy is failing to chase down the Outriders, who seem to have destroyed a unit of Marauder Berserkers here, and can just continue to fire completely with impunity, as the enemy no longer has the horsemen necessary to actually threaten the Outriders. Otherwise, the balance of power is just 95-ish% now. Maybe still 90, I don't know. But the battle will soon be ours. Just gotta destroy the rest of those units. Alright, get a few more volleys in, and no, they're firing at the horses rather than at the Marauders charging, but I guess they're not super afraid of the Marauders. Oh, these are Marauder champions as well. Oh, wow. The enemy didn't commit their champions, keeping them back with their lord, which I guess does make some sense. And the trolls are here guarding this minor supply location from our war sleds, but, well, let's just say good luck with that. The trolls can't catch the war sleds, and the war sleds do fairly decent damage as well. Missile strength's 44, though I imagine that is separated from 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 Streltsy per war sled. I wonder if all 4 can fire at the same time, or in reality whether it's 1. Or does the one that's driving also fire? In fact, I kind of want to take a look at what this looks like. Let's slow it down just for this specifically. All right, come on, let's see. Hey, don't look at the screen, man. You're freaking me out. Stop it. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. There we go. Let's see. Come on, somebody fire, please. This guy's taking aim. Okay, this guy just fired. Yes, all right. So multiple of them fire at the same time. Only see one bullet. No, I see multiple bullets. Okay, good. Great. Well, these trolls are about to get knocked out then. You can probably move a little bit further as well. Huh, did the battle just go suddenly quiet? No, I can still hear some stuff. Oh, these guys aren't making noise when they're firing. Odd, yeah, I don't hear the sound of their guns. Weird. I hear the sound of all the other guns. Well, that's their problem, I guess. They will kill those trolls and the battle will end in a few seconds. Ah, look at that. Marauder chariots have actually chased those outriders of ours. They can actually catch up, though I don't imagine they'll achieve all that much, and the trolls have rushed forward, but they're now in melee, and we don't even care. We're just gonna gun them down like this. We can still fire while in melee, and these guys have a lot more HP and armor than these guys can deal with, especially in such small numbers as they have here. Shattered, and the rest of the army shall shatter shortly. And there we go. Looks like these guys are routing. We're also moving our not our outriders, but our bordermen in. Not that we really need them here. Alright, and there we go. I do believe with that, the enemy is going to rout without committing its Marauder Chieftain or its lore. The rest of the units will run, and the victory decisively will be ours. Took a little bit of a while, that particular battle, but once again, it sort of was like two battles in one, so fair enough. Alrighty, a little bit more bombardment heavy than I was originally anticipating or had intended with this particular battle. However, it was a pretty fun battle nonetheless, as we had both the mini field battle against Bier here, as well as the actual settlement battle. 1,000 prestige, 2,000 money, not too bad, and a decent amount of XP. We're gonna, I guess, occupy it. I mean, we do need to heal here, ideally. Though I'm not 100% sure that we can. And we need a giant blade. And we need to... yeah, we basically don't heal here at all. I'm not sure that it's going to be possible to take Conquata, so maybe we abandon the place? Hard to say. Oh, you're not suffering any more attrition here. That's nice. That's real nice. Had me very concerned for a second. We obviously do not need the stables here. We might as well get as much money out of it as we can. And just out of curiosity, this doesn't give us a special building, does it? No, it doesn't look like it. Strategic location for Dark Elves, okay.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, I fear that this is not enough, as in... assuming that we attack Conquata next turn, if we can reach it, and it does look like we can. It's a lot of enemies, and this will come in as well. Then again, you won't be in March Dance anymore. We might still give it a try. Which would be nice if we were able to do so. And burn out the Shadow Legion for good so that we don't have to deal with them anymore. Though, it would be unfortunate to lose the Bell of the Ball trait. I'm not willing to risk annoyance through the wasteland repeatedly from these guys just coming south over and over again. Especially considering we have the relatively big enemies in the form of the Ecstatic Legions who have taken nearly all of Norska for themselves. So yeah, we'll have to be dealing with them anyway. And I believe that the defeat trait for Azazel is quite good as well, so I'm sure we can get that at least a few times. Anyway, let's see what else we have to do. Believe... well, let's take a look at Sartosa. First of all, are we able to auto-resolve this? Let's just see here. I mean, it is a full garrison on the one hand, but we just saw what would happen if we bombarded the enemy, and frankly, it would be no different here, other than the fact that we have even more artillery pieces from Gelty Boys, so I think we're safe to auto-resolve this one. We've had the nice field battles against them already, And I'm sure we'll be seeing the undead again, as we still have to face off against the Dread Fleet and the Awakened. So yeah, just thought it was all it. And yeah, damage is not so bad. We can heal over it. And we will occupy Sartosa at tier 4, because it was at tier 5. A free potion of strength, a free scribe, no student. No student. And Pirates of Sartosa, just like that. Destroyed. Oh, we got both of the special buildings here. Nice. Very, very nice. We did not get the Vintner, however. We will not be needing the armory here. We will definitely not be needing the barracks. We can keep the foundry because we need the extra capacity. We need to make sure that we build the reinforced walls, the Wizard's Conclave, because we always need wizard capacity. And we'll see what else we can fit in here. Shrine of Sigmar isn't too bad in a corrupted territory, but there may be other stuff that we are better off building. We shall see. But let's start with the orchards, because they will enable us not to bother building other stuff. Wait, growth plus 10 all provinces at tier 5? Oh, that's not bad. I didn't think that Sartosa would actually give us a nice buff like that. And what does this do? Casualty punishment rate only in province, local recruitment capacity, control, hero recruit rank plus 3. Oh. Oh, that's nice. I didn't realize that. Nonetheless, it's still probably not worth keeping a barracks here. It's only a tier 3 after all. And then the other thing gives us a bunch of trade goods, which will also be quite useful. Let us set up the Council of Burgomeisters here, and you guys will probably also all need levels, but we can deal with that later. Gelt, you can't cross back to our own territory, can you? No, you can't. Oh well. I was hoping to pop you into March stance, but it's okay. You can go to Lucini, heal up, and then we'll figure out where to send you afterwards. I guess all of you. We have 5 armies here, though this one is just gonna be following around Gelt for quite a while. It's just a bunch of temporary units. Now, Luther Grobber. You need to attack Martek, but we will possibly save that. There's other stuff to potentially do. How are we looking at Uzkalag here? So, Karl, is this a hard target? No, not really. I mean, there's some black orcs in there. Medium casualties if we try it. I wonder if Azag's gonna come over, but even if he does, his army is trash. Yeah, you know what, I feel like Uzkalag's probably not worth fighting. I'm just wondering how much casualties we will take if we auto-resolve this. Do we risk it? I feel like we can probably risk it. We're not keeping the place either, so we don't really care about that nearly as much either. And the only possible bad thing that might happen is there might be rats at Karak Valag, as in a stack, that might immediately attack Uzkalag. But I sincerely doubt they'd be able to deal with Karl anyway, even at half HP. Yeah, he's fine. I just thought it was all it. Yeah, about half HP is exactly what we got. Sacking 3.7k is not so bad. I might as well sack it. And you can immediately take it as well. We got a servant, still no student though. And then occupy. It's a red territory, but we do still heal up fairly okayly. That's a word, I swear. And S, Jade Wizard, please keep leveling, my friend. We're gonna need you as high in terms of levels as we can get. We have Earthblood maxed out. And Shield of Thorns is great, but the Dwellers below and Regrowth are both pretty darn critical, so we'll get to those. And then we can skip the points for you guys for now, because I don't think you need them. Alrighty, let's see what else we're looking at. And we'll be sure to trade these territories away to probably Karak Kadrin relatively shortly. Also, just out of curiosity, did the increase of trade goods? Yes, the increase of trade goods did increase our possibilities here, but is there anything that's super important? Talakwa probably. They have 9 settlements, and would thus be a decent trade partner. Just looking at the good trade partners here. Yeah, Talakwa's probably the only good one. I don't know whether the Defenders of the Great Plan will survive, because they're probably in trouble against the Loke here. It also says you can't trade, but in reality you sort of can. Yeah, no, I think we'll hold off the trade goods for now. If we can get up here and save the Urson Revivalists, we'll give them a bunch of territory and then make them a trading partner, but for now, not super necessary. Ooh, Vidrioth, you're willing to go military? Yes! Defensive alliance with Vidrioth, please. Love it. Absolutely love it. That's really nice. Hopefully we can get the same at Torgavon later on. In fact, Torgavon's at minus 10 point... 9. What the heck, Torgavon? And Lorelorn. All these little Wood Elf factions, every single one will be helpful. We're still holding off on the Eastern River Lords because they add nothing to us, and I think the rest of us is fine as it is. Get near to military alliance with the northern provinces, if they manage to survive, mind you. Alrighty, and peace. Yeah, still not peacing out with Hexoatl. Not unless our Elven allies peace out with them, which, frankly, I doubt they will. Gregor Rodziner. You don't need to move right now. Let's see what else we need to move and or do. Nud, you can move, but you are waiting for Theon to join your army, so I think for now we shall wait. I'm almost tempted to put you into ambush stance right outside the settlement to see if Grimgor would fall for it. Let's give it a try. Let's see what he does. I mean... Oh my, he has 2 Savage Giants, which means he probably has more stuff in there. Well, we'll see what he has in his army. I'm sure Nud is willing to face off against him. We should, just in case, though, give him points, because, you know, what if. So, we lack Beast Slayer. Enemy miscast base chance. Oh, that's quite nice, actually. I do wonder if you have a mage. It doesn't look like he does, because he doesn't have the symbol for mages, so maybe we can skip that for now. We have a Minute Grandmaster, so we don't need to deal with that. There's Speed of Horse. Oh, right, I was curious if Speed of Horse actually applies to Knights Panther or not. So let's see. Torlekhelm Terrors, you are at 55 charge. Now we pop Speed of Horse. And you are at 61 charge. Okay, good, it does apply. It would have been really stupid if it didn't, but it does so. False alarm and all that. Alrighty, you, Claude Ivan the Crazy. What do you want? Safeguard and... Well, Soothsaying or Impassioned. Let's have you not get immediately killed, I think. You have Cunning, eh? Yeah, let's just get you Impassioned. You can stand on the front lines with your men. Okie dokie. Now, who else? Who else? We have Bernhardt, we have Nud, Kurt, everybody's good here. Who are you? Rizard Broch. Oh, right. You're just you're the guard of Walletop. You can keep recruiting, though. I'd say more Free Company militia. These are just basic super cheap forces we're using to defend these places. I can't believe you're still alive. What is this? Well, keep building troops, I guess. I don't even know what the heck is going on anymore. Let's get you some more Free Company, I guess. Or you know what? Maybe crossbows? Let's get you some crossbows. And then halberdiers. These guys are also building up, and they got some nice forces here. What do we have in terms of defenses? Oh wow, plenty of crossbows, but not plenty of Free Company. Alright, well, keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Looks good to me. Balthazar Gelt is good. Luther Graber, Aldebras Meyer, Owen Dittison. Anybody else? Weigel, who are you? Oh, right, yes. You are going to go and sit in Arnau for a little while. You're just here to defend against potential incursions from the ecstatic legions. If they take Wrecker's Point, we'll give it back to these guys as well. Nordland is probably our most successful ally after Balthazar Gelt, who was doing really well for himself, but Nordland is doing quite well as well. They are hardy Nordlanders after all, so it's hardly surprising, though. Alrighty, let's see what we got. And that's about it. Minus potential heroes and another noble. No, I think we're okay. We do want that fire mage for Volkmar the Grim, but I don't like the buffs for anybody else. So that means 2 more things. We got building, and we got this little tiny battle. I think we can just fight this one manually. At max speed, ideally. And oh, right, you're a recruiter, aren't you? Aggressive, and if we can get you time of war or time of peace, you can get the recruitment reduction increased even further. In fact, wait, you're at rank 9, you need to be rank 15. We should just keep leveling you, I guess, until we can max that out. Alright, get Grand Shield of Faith. Oh wow, if we take away one of your points from Honest Steel, we could get you Grand Soulfire to make the battle easier, but I doubt that we actually need it. Alrighty, away you go, get into, I was about to say Trench's Stance, but no, dice, what are we facing off against here? Huh, well the Longbeards might be a toughie, but hopefully we can just surround and kill them all. I would like to end the turn if possible, so I'm just going to try to go through this as quickly as we can. Gotta remember that our troops are absolute trash, but yeah, we do have a lot of them. But not actually that much more than the enemy does. 5 more units, 6 more units. In terms of sheer troop quality, the enemy does have us beat, but we'll see how they react to being completely surrounded. Alright, so do this, and then what we want to do is... that, so then we will take 5 units of Free Company Militia, like so, and so. The enemy does have an artillery piece, and archers behind those guys, like so, and so. You two can be part 2. I guess you can be group 1. You guys can be group 2. And then we have 3 extra units to hit the enemy in the flanks, though I suppose we could do the same with the others. Alrighty, that looks good to me. You guys can be group 3, I guess. Alrighty, grouped up and ready to go and attack, please. Alright, you guys follow along, you guys get ready to flank and hit the enemies in the back, and away we go, max speed. Gonna take a lot of damage to those grudge throwers, but it's necessary. Alright, everybody get in range, and speed it back up, or slow it back down to normal speed, and you guys get ready to move forward. Maybe even move you forward as well. And you. Alright, those poor pikes are a little bit in trouble. Is this a Rune Lord? Oh, it's a Thane. Okie dokie. Alright, so there's several things we need to do. Namely, you guys need to move around. And oh wow, the grudge thrower is actually targeting one of our Free Company. Actually a good move on their part. Archers, I want you to target the enemy quarrelers, though they are shielded. Should still be able to dish out decent amounts of damage. You two charge through. You go here, you go here. Good. And I'm gonna speed it back up to max in a few seconds. Alright, you guys, charge on through. Just distract the enemy. And just prevent them from firing for a few seconds. Good. Next, good. And Free Company Militia, move on through. Alright, you guys forward, get ready to fire in the sides. Archers are doing work. Some of our Free Company are in trouble, but that's hardly surprising. You guys get ready to hit the enemy in the back. You move forward, and buff yourself, it doesn't really matter. Alright, we need to stop that grudge thrower from firing. Get ready to charge it. You. Melee mode and charge the grudge thrower. You guys can, I guess, attack the rangers with great weapons. And then the rest of you just distract the enemy units. Good. Alright, archers, yeah, some of them are backing off, but once again, disparity in troop quality. Hardly surprising. Alright, the rangers are nearly done for, so you can start firing into the backs of those longbeards in a few seconds. Our lords are looking okay, some of our units will be coming back as well. Guess this is good. This is going to be more or less Skaven tactics. Alright, you guys go forward, you chase down the enemy, you keep distracting quarrelers, please. You keep firing, good. Alright, some of those pikes are going to rout, but that's hardly surprising. Alright, units are coming back. Free Company, move in. We need to go through the gaps. You're not being very useful right now. You move in here and fire into the backs of the enemy troops here. You fire at those quarrelers. You keep chasing those units down until they shatter. Same with you. Wait until the enemy units shatter, and then you get ready to charge those longbeards and stuff in the back as well. Alright, good. That unit is done, which means you can turn to melee and chase. You still chasing. You fire into the backs of those units. You go here, fire into those backs of those units, although it looks like this poor unit of pikes is going to turn soon, so we're going to need to rush you in and help out. You need to move through the gaps. You guys are doing okay. And we got more units coming back. Good. Alright, you need to charge in before these guys charge those poor Free Company. And then you charge into the back of these guys. Like same. Alright, good. These guys have shattered. You guys are dead. Beautiful. You guys back off, back off, back off. Good. Fire into the backs of those units. You run and gun a little bit. How are we doing? Alright, looking pretty okay. You guys get ready to fire into those backs, and pikes are coming back as well. You don't turn on melee. Alright, you guys need to still keep fighting. You keep fighting as well. Do you guys buff yourselves? Very little, but do it anyway. And move forward, please. Free Company, back off. You guys can move back in. And this is why normally I just do it as cinematic battles, because frankly, this isn't super interesting to watch, I will admit. But you know. It's also not a battle that's really worthy of a cinematic battle, because it's just troops that we don't care about and are going to delete anyway, so no amount of there's no difficulty here, really. Hey, this unit of Quarrelers came back, how dare they? Alrighty, and you, Free Company's coming back as well. Just gotta make sure a few of those units that try to run away will shatter. Pikes are returning, good. And you guys chase down those units. Ooh, you try to run and gun a little bit. Those are Quarrelers. I can fight them in melee a little bit. Alright, give chase, lovely. And archers are running out of ammunition. Oh, that ain't great. But we will need that ammunition. Ignore the Thane, please. You guys, good. Give chase, give chase. And you can give chase as well. Turn yourself to melee. Archer is still firing. Fire into this. You go in here and fire into this. You keep running and gunning. You same here. But also make sure that the other unit does not come back. You can help run and gun. Good. Alright. Nobody's asleep. At least none of the units are asleep. And there we go. That last unit of Dwarf Warriors is just about done. Looks like this one's about done as well, though our archers have been having to do a little bit of melee action. Looks like this unit is shattered, so we can ignore it now. You chase after this unit. And now you guys can overwhelm this unit. Okay, you keep chasing these guys down. You guys keep chasing those guys down. Pikes distract the Longbeards. Same with the Warrior Priest. You fight the Longbeards as well. Archers target Longbeards. And you, stop fighting that Thane, that's a waste of everybody's time. You guys, turn to melee mode, attack this. And the battle should be just about over. Most of the enemy units are shattered. Make sure that the last unit of Longbeards shatters as well. And just make sure to also give chase. Alright, good, that unit's shattered. You. Fight, fight, fight. You... Now you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Alright, no units are asleep, you are shattered now. Switch to this next unit, please. This is obviously a settlement as well. Alright, are all the units back here shattered? Yes, indeed they are. We don't need to kill them all. It's a settlement battle, speed it back up to max, and the battle's over. There we go. Lovely. Alright, easy little Pyrrhic victory, but hardly surprising. And at the end of the day, less than half HP lost for a bunch of basic units with no buffs on them, I think works out fairly well, especially against Longbeards and Rangers and an artillery piece and the like. We're probably going to keep this army around for another 2, maybe, turns until we delete them. And then obviously we'll transfer the decently leveled... Free Company militia to Volkwar the Grim. Ugh. Sometimes you just can't remember the troops' names. Alrighty, and we will occupy the place, and it does have some iron for us, talisman of protection that we don't need, and man, all these battles and not a single student. Kept that, Outrider, kept that research nod up, and it didn't really give us anything. Oh well. Tech. Next up, we are going for, I believe, counts of electors. I don't really care about the fealty threshold, but the Runefang Pact will give us allegiance points gained and diplomatic relations and melee and missile weapon damage. Granted, it's going to take a few turns to get it up there, and there are other useful things to get. But nonetheless, I think it's a pretty good buff. Also, does anybody know how exactly we acquire more of these technology points? Where is this from? It says we have 1. And we can choose, huh? So can you choose only one of these, 1 out of the 4 here and 1 out of the 4 here, or 1 out of all 8 of these? It says only 1 minor deity can be chosen from this group. I take it it's 1 of these and then 1 of these? But then we only have the 1 technology points, or does this just recharge every turn? I either don't know or just don't remember how to deal with this. It's been a while since SFO and all. But yeah, there's some damn good stuff in here. Venerate Ranald alone gives us plus 50% magic item drop chance, and considering the amount of heroes that we have, this seems super useful. Manan gives us 20% campaign movement range for all armies and port income, and we do have some lovely ports. Araya is okay, but meh. And Venerate Verena I do like the control and the research, but I see Manan and Ranald much better. Generally, I'm leaning towards Ranald. The magic item drop chance. It'll make all of our armies more powerful, but then again, so would the movement range and the money from the ports. Now, you guys let me know what you think about those two. And what about these four? Shalia gives us 20% reduction on Lore of Life spells and 10% extra casualty replenishment rate, though we do have decent amounts as well. Myrmidia, surprisingly weak. Spell resistance and a little bit of extra XP. You'd think it would be a little bit more war-y for a war goddess. Then Tal gives us straight up 5% physical resistance for everybody and attrition reduction, which we do need, but probably not as compared to Shalia here. And Moore gives us reinforcement range, weapon strength when attacking for characters, and all characters cause fear. Meh, kinda meh as well. Out of these, I would say Shalia holds a pretty considerable advantage, though the physical resistance on Tal, once again, ain't too bad either. It's definitely between Tal and Shalia out of these, and then between Manan and Ranald here. And then we'll take a look at these things once we get to them. Yeah. Alrighty, but for now, Runefang Pact and stuff. I did promise I'd go over those at some point, and that was the point. Now, we got a few more buildings to build, so let's build them, let's end the turn. We are definitely out of time, but I'm very curious to see what, if anything, is going to happen next turn. So, I'm Blackwater, Northern Sylvania, trying to go through these as quick as I can here. We do have relatively limited amounts of cash as well. Temple of Kara and Monument of Itzatal. We probably want to upgrade Temple of Kara so we can get a wall up and running there before it gets retaken. Verdano's definitely get the exotic animal pen and the weaving house, and let's upgrade you to tier 4 as well. And vaults, we wanted to build a wizard conclave here, and we wanted to upgrade Xerixil while we were at it. Mastan is fine. Eastern Border Princes, I guess we will want... Well, we probably still need the walls here. It's not going to be a very big money-making province, but that was never the point of this province. The point of this province was to be a choke point against anything coming north. Bordelot, we do have to prioritize your upgrade because you're a fantastic investment. World's Edge Mountains, yes to the money, no to everything else. Karakaz Garez, well, it's the same thing, and then we'll upgrade you once we have a little bit more cash. Sartosa, you're fine as you are, and we won't build anything there. Uskalak, I mean, it'll probably be a few turns until we can repair you and or until we trade you, but for now I think you're fine. Estalia, let us build that iron smelter. More trade goods. Griffinwoods, Bears of Quila, we got Saber Mountain, which we are keeping, but we don't need this right here, right now. As yet, Pools of Despair in the Tower of Arcan. Xandri, hopefully next turn, assuming King Roar doesn't retake it. Do the roar. Let's go village, let's go... I don't know, weaving house growth. Probably not super important right now. Not yet, but this place will be making a lot of cash for us later on, and that's about it for all the money we have. There's a few more things, but none that we really care about. So, skip, minus the commandment. Let's go towards Council of Burgomeisters here. And we'll see about destroying Azag, and this is his last army. Yes, he has no more armies, no more settlements, and will be down for the count. Damage building, another commandment available in the Creeping Jungle. Once again, Council of Burgomeisters like everywhere else, and then let's end the turn. Another reason I really want to end the turn is I want to see, with the end of the Confederation debuff, who will offer Confederation next. Now, we can't afford to lose the Imperial Authority at max rank, so whoever offers is going to have to be declined. Now, out of all of these, what we need is either Stirland or Nuln or Vissenland next. We can ignore the rest for now, but those are going to be priority. Nordland we want last because they're doing great by themselves. Ostland and Hawkland and Ostermark are both garbage right now. And Averland's kind of in the middle in terms of usefulness, but they're not highly upgraded and they don't hold a lot of territory. Whereas, yeah, Nuln and Stirland are both fairly rich and both give 1 to 2 provinces completed, and they both have some special buildings, some landmarks buildings that we do want. Anyway, end the turn and let's find out who, what, etc.
Be at peace.
Boris, you're still alive, man. Have I told you I love you? Counter offer? Ugh. I'd love to trade with him, I would, but he's too weak right now, so we can't do it. And we don't know if he'll survive. And on top of that, there are other better factions like Talakwa that we do want to trade with, as I mentioned earlier. Alright, come on now. If we get attacked, though, I don't think then we'll be able to see what'll happen until next episode, but oh well. Also, I know I've been getting a lot of questions about the Chaos Dwarves, and of course I'm going to run the Chaos Dwarves. I'll put an announcement in the community tab shortly about how that's all going to go. We will be voting on which lord we run. And Averland's going to offer. Good. Averland's one of the ones that we don't need to do right now, so we're going to assert independence, which puts us back up to 13 Imperial Authority. And then allow us next turn to confederate another one, hopefully one of the ones that we want. In fact, Vissenland won't offer right now because they're at 9, so we could upgrade it to 10, or we could just rely on getting Stirland for now. I don't know, I'll think about it. Rite of Awakening for Hexoatl, Saber Mountain besieged, hardly surprising. Ally begins outpost construction, Vidrioth, not important. And aha! Grimgor! Well, 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 and Theon is nearby to you. Okay, well, regardless of whatever else happens, the next episode we will be getting... Impair Corruption, Helmgart, rude. We will be getting a battle against Grimgor with Nud and his Knights Panther. Seems like a fun time. We are also going to probably march forward with Marcus Wolfhart and hopefully try to find and kill Mazda Mundi yet again. Then there is the consideration of Conquata and what we can do about it. As in, whether we just sit there and try to force them into a field battle, whether they'd be willing to or not, then they might be. But it would be very dangerous if we tried. Which does excite me. Anyway, lots more fun battles to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And what the heck is Ikit Claw doing? Oh, he did. Oh, he took it. He actually took the place. Well, well, well. That's actually nice. We can send one of these guys to burn him out and then get the Ikit Claw defeat trait. I was thinking about getting it on Helmut Feuerbach here, but not super important. One of these guys is going to be around. And ooh, actually no. Owen Dittison is going to get replaced by another Grand Master, so that's not going to be the case. So it's better that we send Wolf from Custerman to get the Ikit Claw defeat trait, as I don't believe... No, he doesn't have it. So Wolf from Custerman it shall be. And then we'll send him south to help Volkmar against the forces of Arcan, who will be attacking next turn. Anyway, once again, I digress. Stay tuned for more stuff. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.